Michigan continues to win, except for college basketball. Leave them aside. Their last regular season game is tomorrow, thank God. But as far as the hockey program goes, they swept Notre Dame in the Big Ten quarterfinal in the Big Ten tournament. And game one was last night, and what a wild game that was, where it was a 5-4 victory for ours truly, the University of Michigan, with the help of a 5-minute major. We had a 5-on-3 at one point where we got a goal. This game tonight to sweep them, which is something that this hockey program struggles doing, winning back-to-back games on a weekend. They did tonight, going into, in the Big Ten tournament, and they were number 10 in the pairwise going in. I think they are firmly in now after this, but let's just keep on winning it. Michigan hockey won the last two Big Ten tournament championships, just like Michigan did for a little while. And both of them made it to the Frozen Four the first 2 years. And then Michigan football won the national championship. Third time was the charm. It's going to be a little bit different with hockey. They have to do it a different way. They're not overpowering. They are high flying. Defense is questionable. But they can do it, and they can get their third Big Ten title in a row. It's alive now because we swept Notre Dame in this game. Early on, Notre Dame was called for tripping, but they got the kill. 8 minutes in, Notre Dame scored to take the lead, 1-0. Bavaro for Notre Dame. TJ Hughes then, a little while later, tipped in a goal past Bishop to tie the game for a power play goal, and that was the thing, is you can't score on Bishop. You just can't unless it's tips or rebounds or something around him where he's confused. Michigan needs to do better possessing and getting better shots. A lot of long shots early in this game for them that weren't going to go in versus this great goalie, but they figured it out. A controversial boarding call on Notre Dame then led to a 5-minute major penalty, but Notre Dame played really great defense, and Bishop only had to save a few shots, and they killed that 5-minute major penalty. So Michigan was only up 1-0 after that. Notre Dame, like I said, played great defense. But then, still in the first period, TJ Hughes with an easy goal was challenged for offsides with 9 seconds left. And even the commentators over at WCBN said, yeah, they were offsides, but the goal was upheld. It was not wiped off. It was 2-1 Michigan. And with that, it was the second unsuccessful challenge by Notre Dame, so it led to a delay of game penalty. And shots were 18 for Michigan in the first period, but only 2 goals. What's going on there? Anyway, second period started. Notre Dame had 2 unsuccessful challenges leading to the delay of game penalty. I thought that was time on the clock. Maybe, I was listening to this on WCBN. I was not watching it. I don't have Big Ten Plus. So, you tell me what happened there, why we didn't have a 5-on-4, and why Notre Dame then got a power play. It was Ernest on a boarding penalty is what I heard, and one of the Slaggert, scored on the power play goal. It was 2-2 to even it up. Moynihan then had a tip in to give Notre Dame the lead again, 3-2. It was an epic game yet again. Last night's was amazing too. But Duke then had a rebound goal off Ernest's wraparound try, and it was 3-3. The last big chunk of the period was reviews and some chances for each team, but no goals. So it ended up being 3-3 at the end of the third period. Michigan led second period, Michigan led in shots 30-18, but it was tied 3-3. To start the third period, Duke Two Brindley scored early on for Michigan when we were just discussing tip-ins and rebounds on WCBN. I was there in the chat, and that we needed crisper passing, and exactly that happened. Uh, they they scored a goal, 4-3. Michigan needed to keep the pedal to the metal, though, and was my summation or whatever. That's not a word, but you know what I surmised that Michigan needed to keep attacking, and with this offense, why not? It's kind of negligible to try to play defense when your defense hasn't been great historically for this season. But it didn't matter. With 13:43 left, a hooking penalty on Edwards, of course, was called, but Michigan got another kill, which Michigan is like 84% recently uh, after January. Three so far in this game they killed them all except for one. With 7 minutes left, Michigan had a power play, but Notre Dame was able to kill it. So it was still a one-goal game going down the stretch, and then Notre Dame eventually pulled Bischel, their goalkeeper. And Michigan had like 5 tries on an empty net. They even ran offense, from what I heard, and still couldn't score against these 6 guys with no goalie. They couldn't capitalize, and then with 20 seconds left, Barczewski, who is not he's like 90% save percentage, we'll get into that, had a great save to keep it from being tied and going into overtime. He ended the game for Michigan, which is a great sign, has to give him confidence going forward. And Michigan now advances to the Big Ten semifinal versus, I don't know. I think it's Michigan State or Minnesota, one of the two. Um, Minnesota won, and Wisconsin beat Ohio State. There was things going on there. You know, it's a 7-team. I know Michigan State got the bye, and the other 6 had to play, and then Michigan State gets the lowest seed. Well, Michigan's a 4 seed, so. We probably won't be playing Michigan State. I think it's Minnesota next week. But anyway, let's talk about this Michigan team real quick. Assists. We have 4 really great players in the nation in the category of assists. Number 4 in the nation is Rutger McGroarty, 31 assists in 30 games. That's a 1.03 average per game. Number 6 is Seamus Casey in the nation. 35 assists in 35 games, 1 per game. Number 23 is Gavin Brindley. 26 assists in 34 games. That's a .76 average per game. So he gets 3/4 of an assist every game. And TJ Hughes is right there with him, number 26 assists in 35 games, .74. We talk about goals for this team. Gavin Brindley leads the way, 22 goals in 34 games. That's a .65 per game average. That's good for number 7 in the nation, which, you know, there is no Adam Fantilli in college hockey this year. There are no superstars. He was the Hobie Baker Award winner that goes to the best college hockey player in the nation. Last season, he was a freshman. He went pro, and he is gone. And most all the other great talent is gone here now, too. So it's a wide open Frozen 4, if you ask me. Denver was losing to somebody that they shouldn't be earlier by a lot. So Michigan's right there. They got a great team. Gavin Brindley leads the way. Dylan Duke has 20 goals in 35 games. Rutger McGroarty has 16 goals in 30 games. It's good for 26th in the nation. Dylan Duke was 15 in the nation. And we have a couple tied at number 40 in the nation. TJ Hughes and Garrett Shifsky both have 16 goals in 35 games, which is almost 50%. .46. So as far as team stats for this uh, great program that we have, Michigan is number 8 in scoring margin, but number 3 in scoring and points per game, goals per game with 4.2. So that tells you that the defense is the one that is lacking here just a bit, maybe. Michigan is number 15 in faceoffs, faceoff percentage at .522. So more than half the time they are winning it, and they struggled with that early on in the season. They're getting better. Michigan is learning how to kill penalties now, too, 78% across the season, but way better recently in the last couple months. So Michigan's power play, though, is number 1 in the nation at 36%. The next closest is 28%. So don't penalize us, or don't try to hook us or board us or anything. We'll score on you over a third of the time. Defense is where Michigan lacks a bit. Like I said, they are number 37, tied with Denver, the number 1 or top 4 team. Is giving up 3.06 goals, just like we are, per game. But Jake Barczewski, our goalie, is number 36 in save percentage at .908. So that's where we got to clean up some things. Maybe possess the ball more offensively, like we were talking about during the game, and get crisper passes, better shots too on goal. Rebounds, be ready to get rebounds, because we're going to be facing some really good goalies. And what do you do with a great offense? Be around the net. Be around the net. If you have a bad defense, let's keep it away from our net. That's what I'm hoping for going forward, no matter who we play. I think it's Minnesota. But anyway, I'll see you next week after that video. Well, maybe not. Is it next? I think it's next week, right? They go week by week. Man, it's been a whole year. I can't remember. I know that we won the last 2. Let's go, Blue, baby.